Okay, so let's just go over what we talked about earlier, Sean.
I don't even remember, dude.
I'm gonna make this a reality. So, time travel. How are we gonna use time travel to Mars?
I don't even know. And now that you've got me recording, man, it's like I don't even know.
Okay, we were gonna use some sort of compartment inside the spaceship that would freeze time for the occupants while the spaceship travels to its destination. The spaceship will trigger the time machine to bring the person back once it gets to the destination. The problem we
And
what
problem I brought up was, does it freeze time only for them, or does it freeze time and space around it?
Yeah. So we had. I mean, I think I'm just trying to think of a localized time freeze, so only around them.
So by the time they get to their destination, everybody else is all dead and gone.
Yes, everybody else,
So we
like
could
at
just,
home.
cryogenically freeze them.
Well, you would have to cryogenically freeze the mission team, probably, until the spaceship unfreezes the occupants. But then the transmission signal won't be in sync because you'll have to travel the speed of light. So maybe it'll have to, it'll have to synchronize. It'll have to know how many seconds or how many hours or how many days or years it'll have to send to the mission team back on Earth before it actually awakes the people inside the spaceship, before it actually reaches its destination.
So essentially, what we could do is we could just get this giant freezer box, stick a bunch of people in it, send a ship off, and then hit a button, have a button ready to press, and 600 years from now, that dethaws them.
Pause there. But the thing about freezing human cells is it usually destroys the cell structure when you freeze it because, ice actually expands. Ice occupies more volume than water. So you have to instantly freeze them. You can't allow any time for their cells to rupture. And another problem is how do you thaw them? But anyways, that's a different argument altogether.
Then we get a giant microwave to surround the freezer box.
Possibly.
That's a horrible idea.
So we were talking about if you brought the people back to the current space-time location, how do you keep them from aging when you're bringing them back? And we were talking about perhaps time is a revolution around itself. If you push
It's
it
all
back,
continuous.
yes.
It's like a continuous string, or the string theory.
Is that the string theory?
Let me look it up.
Okay. But anyways, we were talking about how once people devise this strategy, they'll come back in time and give us lots of money.
And then we have the string theory. What goes around comes around.
And they could bring us back to their time, which hopefully would be better than our time. So, I'm not sure if you still want to go through the intellectually taxing subject of time travel.
Well, let's do it.
I'll let you start.
Okay.
Just repeat everything I said in like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. All right. Can't do it in 10 seconds, but I'll try to do it.
25
pretty
seconds.
shortly. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So Adam and I want to come up with a way to figure out how time travel would be possible. His idea is that we would send ourselves forward into freeze ourselves in time in a time capsule around in a ship, and when we get there, it would unfreeze us out of time or bring us back into the time that we originally started in at point A.
Yeah, the ship would
So,
do that with its
yes.
inbuilt electronics system.
Yeah. The problem with that is how would you stop that person from aging or taking all of that time and adding it to basically this body and rapidly aging them as soon as you brought them out of that cryostasis. And the theory behind that would work only if time itself revolved around itself or was in a continuous string. So once you basically sent it out, it would come back around and you'd stop at the same place that you started again when you came back out of that cryostasis. So,
Yep.
hoping that if we post this on YouTube, the hot babes from the future will come back, give us lots of money, and take us to their future. So, yeehaw. Go YouTube.
Whoa, who said yeehaw? Was that you?
Adam. That was you.
No, I didn't say yeehaw.
That was me.
Okay, good. That was kind of scary. Because that'd be funny if people from the future already, like, tapped into our system and, like, changed what we were recording because we've already recorded it in the future.
Okay, true time. That yeehaw came from the hot babes. So
That's disgusting.
So their voice is just really man-made.
Well, people actually get bigger over time, like, so maybe women will actually have that low of a voice by the time, you know, they understand how to do this.
Yeah. It takes me back to the Futurama episode where all those Amazonian women once knew. So.
Yeah. Well, on that topic, well, we also came up with a more conventional, practical approach, which, you know, is kind of strange as well. But, you know, you freeze people, right, in the spaceship. Right. And the spaceship will know when it's almost there to Mars, and then it will, you know, dethaw them or thaw them.
Yeah, the entire problem with these either situation is that everybody else, point A where you started, would take all that time normally anyways. So while you might be frozen in time or frozen, your cells might be frozen due to the freeze effect from the freezer that you were stored in the entire time. Or whether it was cryostasis that kept you there, then either way, the people back home have already died, and that's just kind of depressing. So,
so we also came up with a solution for that. Is the people in the control center who are in charge of the mission will also be frozen for the duration of the mission, up until a little bit before the captain or participants of the mission are dethawed or brought back from time stasis. So, I don't know.
So wait, how does that solve that problem, though?
Well, they will be frozen in time, just like, you know, when the astronauts are frozen in time at the same time. And the spaceship will transmit a signal that will reach the command center about the same time as the astronauts have dethawed, so that they'll get dethawed.
So what you're saying back home, like the command center back home is frozen?
Yes.
So what if there's like a World War III or 4 or 5 or whatever, and that gets destroyed?
They sign up a liability of waiver contract. And, you know, if it gets destroyed, I mean, I think we have more problems than just the mission.
So then I think the only way to solve that problem is if a wormhole could pose the possibility of solving this. Nobody's really ever been able to create a wormhole yet, like with the LHC over at Kern Institute, or whatever Kern is. I don't know what that acronym is or whatever, but if they can develop a black hole, then maybe we could use that to travel between. We could close that barrier or fold it, so to speak.
The only problem with traveling through wormholes is it reduces your body into like a width of a single cell or a single atom, so you'd be killed.
True. Maybe. We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
So.
All right, cool. Well,